Drama makes me think of this TikTok and all the comments on it. Thinking about that time I had a poster of Zac Efron in my room when I was younger, and one day when I found out he had drank underage, I ripped it down and I cried so hard for 2 hours that I threw up. Wait, he drank underage?
I don't know. Look it up.
This is so fucked up, dude.
How did he? Yeah, you're like realizing.
What the fuck?
Wait, is this a joke?
In 8th grade, I broke up with my boyfriend because he told me he tried the margarita mix in his parents' fridge. When Nick Jonas did the interview talking about taking off his purity ring, I locked myself in my bathroom on Thanksgiving to cry. My aunt brought me a plate. Yo, kids are so fucking dumb. I never had any of this shit.
Oh, I actually found another. It's not even.
You have something
list.
like this? Do you have something in your past that like was traumatic for you that you found out about someone that you stand?
Nothing traumatic. But when I was in high school, I was kind of regret saying this. I was a 21 Pilots stan when I was in high school, like hardcore. And I was a hardcore Christian when I was in high school.
Oh hell yeah, I love that.
And they're like sort of like adjacently Christian as a band, like it's sort of tied to their image.
Oh really? I did not know that. Okay, go on.
I remember when we were in high school, one of my friends was like, "Dude, the lead singer Tyler, there's this photo of him like giving the middle finger to a camera," and I was like, that can't be true. I was like, he would never do that. I know he'd never do that. And I think it was actually a fake photo. I do think he didn't do it.
Oh, still to this day, you're denying the truth that he actually flipped the camera?
No, yeah, it's got to be. No, there's definitely some. But if you type in Dance Moms to TikTok. I found this TikTok of this girl talking about her being a part of the Dance Moms fandom when she was younger. And it was like insane shit. I was like, oh, let me find this. I can't find it.
There's no way I can find it like this, I'm pretty sure.
She's like a huge TikToker and was like talking about. Oh, yeah. Type in Dance Moms fandom.
People are saying this is a big one. Lexi J, nanny servant, deleted video. Who's Lexi J? Yeah, dude. We just opened up the fucking Pandora's box, dude. There's floodgates here. The floodgates are opened. I don't want to be alarming, but Nick is not green is behind you. He's next to me, but you're right.
I'm not behind him.
People on here be like, cigarettes are bad for you. Source the FDA.
God. Then they add it. That's great.
This guy, look at this. Look, you're inhaling radioactive carbon particles straight to your lungs. Just take some coal and shove it down there and get it over with. Smoked for 17 years, was hell to quit. If you want some nicotine, they have lozenges, gum, patches. Try that instead. Don't smoke. It's like,
lozenges are for fucking nerds, dude.
Bro, fucking chill, dog. Like, it's a joke, man. What the hell is going on with everybody?
Radioactive carbon particles.
Like, I'm pretty sure everybody knows it's bad, right? Like, everyone knows it's bad. The patches are awful. The gum is better. Anyway.
Yeah. You got to see this Dance Moms thing.
Did you find it?
Just search Dance Moms fandom. First one.
Okay.
And it just like gets crazier and crazier. I was like, I didn't know this was a thing. And then people in the comments.
This?
Yeah, this is it.
Here are some of the most batshit crazy things I did when I was in the Dance Moms fandom. And yes, it's like actually insane. So my cousin May, who's the same age as me, we were in the Dance Moms fandom at the exact same time. We both had our Instagram fan pages. We met the entire original cast together. We had each other's.
I don't understand why there's stands for Dance Moms.
Yeah, and it was a huge thing. Look, people in the comments know her by her fandom name when she was like in it. She was one of like
Kendall Vertez EXO Stop No Way.
Yeah, if you keep going down, you can see like so many people are like, oh my god, I remember you.
Batty, I co-owned Teen Ziegler's. I'm pretty sure we were friends. No way. I vividly remember your PFP. Yo, this is not normal. I'm too over this shit.
Each other's passwords,
I like her glasses,
and one day
though.
we got into a fight, so I logged into her account and pretended that she got hacked. I was posting like black pictures like, yeah, this is the hacker and you're never getting this account back. Then I was just bored of it, so I was like, oh, give me your email and I'll give you the account back. I didn't tell her till like years later. She also did me dirty once though. In the Dance Moms fandom, we have these things called twinnies, which is basically just like two internet best friends. So in your bio, you'd put like twinny at and then whoever it was. My twinny was not my cousin, but this like random other stan like my age I found online. We FaceTimed like a couple times. But my cousin knew my twinny and for some reason decided to hack her. I did not speak to my very real cousin, blood relative, for like 5 months because she hacked some girl I had spoken to like twice online. This next one is an insane thing to admit online, but I have no shame. I used to pretend to be a student at the ALDC through Photoshop. And I definitely still have these pictures on my computer back at home, so I might have to make a follow-up video. I would Photoshop myself like into the studio, or like I would literally find people who went to the studio but weren't on the show, so they didn't have a ton of followers. I would take their pictures of like either they were in the studio or they had like the dance sports bra on, and I would just like put my face on their face. My cousin May did the exact same thing.
Bro, this is literally like, that's like, I think you were like developing like a psychopathy like early.
And I learned she's like 20, so this happened maybe like not even 10 years ago, and it gets like I'm still like it gets worse.
I mean, I'm glad that like this 10-year-old is no longer like hyper mentally ill. You know what I mean?
I know, because I'm like, how do you grow up and become normal? Because I didn't that kind of stuff when I was young. I was never like.
I always thought I was like, there was something wrong with me because I didn't have like a fandom that I belonged to when I was younger. Like even in Turkey, like, you know, people loved sports teams or athletes or fucking Justin Bieber or some shit. And like, I never had that. So I thought I had an issue. Like, I thought I was the problem. So then I like would lie. I would lie and be like, oh yeah, I love Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? Like I was, dude, I'm such a big fan. I'm such a huge fan just to like get along with people, especially with soccer, football, where for me it was like, Fenerbahce. Like you have to like Fenerbahce. It's one of the three major teams. You have Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, and Beşiktaş. And I had to basically lie and learn things about Fenerbahce so that like when people questioned my fandom, I had information readily available to just say that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. It was so sad.
Just like memorize the player's name.
Yeah, it literally, bro, it actually legitimately created animosity within me towards sports. Like I just hate watching organized sports because of that. I think because I did this. You do this with rap music? Not even. I'm very, I don't know. I'm just like very honest about not listening to music and shit like that. So I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, wait. We gotta. I'm trying to remember what the later one is, but she does this thing where she tells this long story, and then at the end she like puts in like 10 different. She does all these mini things that are crazy that are all like insane, but like leaves it just. I would just keep watching. It's freakish.
Thing too, so I feel more justified. We were both like absolutely crazy. Something else we did together. We used to go on Uvu calls with other members of the ALDC who weren't on the show but were friends with the girls on the show. I don't want to name drop, but anyone who like watched the show or know anything about the ALDC probably would know who I'm talking about. Me and my cousin would go on these Uvu calls and put on like insane makeup, like unibrows, lipstick, do our hair crazy. We would speak in like insane voices and do the weirdest things. Like we put apple juice in cups and said that we were drinking our own pee. I don't know why she always answered our Uvu calls, but we would like terrorize them on Uvu. So obviously because we were acting crazy, the girl we were on
what the fuck is Uvu?
So Uvu was a thing when I was like in middle school, and it was like group FaceTime, but like first app to do it, where it was like, oh, you can go on and you can call it like get on a call with like 8 people, and you can't hear anything because there's so much feedback, and it was like awful. But people used it because that was the only way you could Skype more than one person. Yep.
Never even heard of it.
Phone with was like gonna show everyone she's with. And one time we had like Kenzie watching us on Uvu, like, and we were like, show her again, but she wanted nothing to do with it. We ended up getting into hella beef with the girl we were Uvuing. Like, we ended up DMing her mom and being like, your daughter is a disgrace. I don't know what she said to us, what we said to her. But yeah, we ended up blocked, so that was an era. I don't know if anyone remembers Dance Mom's like fanfic Instagram accounts where each part would be posted as like a different post and the caption has the actual fanfic. But yes, I had my own fanfiction account. I wrote a story once about Maddie and Chloe getting kidnapped. I used to steal edits from YouTube and
Just,
post
like-
them as my own on my Instagram.
Just like
I
using
used to look up
these children as like characters in fan fiction that isn't like romantic or anything, just like telling a story.
What the fuck? She's talking about fanfic about minors and their moms as teachers. Yeah, she was like 10, okay? Chatter, like...
It wasn't like sexual.
Yeah,
fan
and
fiction.
she wasn't like this adult. That's another thing on the internet where people are like, oh, dude, you're doing this right now. Like, no, she was doing this when she was also a 10-year-old, okay?
No age gap, guys.
Yeah, no problematic age gaps here.
all of the original cast, like phone numbers.
It's still insane, by the way. That's what makes it even more unhinged in many ways. Like, if an adult is doing this, you're like, okay, I can neatly categorize this as a gross pervert who
like a
should be institutionalized. But, like, when a child is doing this, you're like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even know what kind of box to put you in. I don't know how to neatly define the circumstances and how to deal with this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's serial killer shit.
online. They were definitely not real, and I had a notebook with all of them written down. Also had a fan page for Kendall's old duet partner at Studio 19, Lainey. I would go on Skype calls with her like multiple times a month. Also had a Mia Diaz fan page. She was on Dance Moms Miami. Also used to Skype her multiple times a month. Oh, and I had my meet and greet autographs framed on my wall, but I don't know if that's that weird. Here are some of the most bad...
No, that's,
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know why she even said that.
that's like the most normal part of this. To be fair, they did a dance on the show reenacting a kidnapping, probably where that came from. It's still weird to write fan fiction about like a reality TV show of like children that are dancing that you're watching and obsessed with.
Yeah.
This sounds like Frogan's old Twitter days. Yes, Frogan is like a OG stan of like everyone that you can think of, not limited to Maddie Healy, as a matter of fact.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So but they were also kids. No, I know. It's like, but it's still kind of weird that like a child was doing it. Because like, I feel like this is the type of shit that like, you know, adults do.
Yeah, like, because they're freaks.
Yeah, they're like freak ass adults do this shit. You know what I mean? So when a child does it, you're like, how did you learn this? Like, how did you come up with this behavior? And I guess it's like unsupervised internet access for a kid.
Yeah, this is... I don't know. We have to censor the internet, I think.
Yeah, no, China is right with the way that they behave on restricting internet access to children. Like they're so right about it, and you know, fuck it, we don't do it here. We're never gonna do it. It would probably hurt our businesses. Let's be real, what we do for a living. But still, this is literally what grown adults do with QAnon. Yeah, I guess as long as like you get it out of your system, and then you're no longer like you recognize that it's like weird, wild, stupid. You know, it's good. It's good like that you are no longer doing that. I think maybe these adults would not be QAnon adults if they did the stand-up shit when they were younger.
Yeah, maybe that QAnon kid from that one video should he just needs to like get into a band or like a reality TV show, and then he'll stop like. You know.
Yeah, it's like a more productive hobby and stand-up. As if children haven't always been writing fan episodes of shows they love forever. I guess they are. I don't know. I never did this shit, so it's like weird to me. But it's cool, I guess. Okay, what is this? This seems like a crime.
Oh, I can't wait.
Lexi J. Who's Lexi J? Is she a TikToker? You should know this.
I have no idea.
You're the TikTok expert.
Lexi J could
one of the best parts about TikTok is always like some children get into some like fucking drama or some shit, and then you have like grown ass adults analyzing the drama in like the most serious tone ever.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and you're like, but you're an adult. Why are you so scoldy? Kind of. I don't know. Let's see what this is.
Is iconic, but I want to introduce you to the real legend of the family, Elena. She lived with my family for about 30 years, and about 6 months ago, she decided it was time for her to move back to the Philippines. She got me ready for my first day of preschool, moved me into my college dorm and everything in between, so taking her back to the Philippines was something I could not have wanted to do more.
You're going to the Philippines?
Yes, I'm going to the Philippines. I have to take her home. It had been over 30 years since Nanny had last been to the Philippines. She sacrificed raising her son and daughter to get a job in America and send every dollar she could back home to her family. She is the hardest worker, and it's not an exaggeration to say that she's been through hell, yet somehow she's the smiliest, happiest person I have ever met. Before I knew it, it was time to head to LAX, and when I tell you I have
Why did she post this? Like, this is like, bro, you can't be posting stuff like this online. Like, what the fuck?
This is insane.
Yeah, because like, of course, everyone is gonna look at this and go like, "Oh my god, you had like a live-in servant." You know what I mean?
I released her back to her home country.
This is
Don't
literally
worry.
like, this is like, oh Jesus Christ! Like, if you ask the nanny herself, right? Like, I'm sure she has a perspective that is not as like aggressive as everyone else that's like talking about it. But even then, you know what I mean? You're describing like third world exploitation, like basically slavery, that we have normalized, because, you know, it's the Philippines.
Have never experienced a heartbreak like this before. God, I love this woman so much. The princess, as I like to call her, was of course chauffeured all around LAX. She made so many friends, we got a ton of snacks, and we were ready for the longest flight ever. We had a tearful goodbye to America. She thanked it for everything it had brought to her. I cursed it for not letting her stay forever. We held hands the majority of the flight, and before I knew it...
Oh, she has to go home.
Wait.
Oh my God. Wait, she's being deported? What the fuck?
Wait, that's...
Yo. This story is insane. The part, what? That makes it so much worse. Bro, why didn't you like, here's how you could have made this story maybe a little bit more manageable. Even then, people will get mad at you, okay? Work with immigration lawyers to like ensure that she gets documentation, the proper documentation, and like bring her fucking family here. Like, what are you doing? You didn't... This is just like, oh yeah, my family used and abused our servant for 30 years and then didn't even sponsor her. And then I just basically shipped her ass back to fucking the Philippines. You already know this, but in the Philippines, they do this a lot, but it's usually nursing and not being a maid. Maids are super normal in the Philippines, but they aren't like this.
Yeah, I mean,
what the fuck?
I think it's a lot different if like your white family in America, like, you know,
no, I mean, dude, really, really poor countries like the Philippines are hyper reliant on, they're hyper reliant basically on this kind of thing where like they work in either the cruise sector in like horrible work conditions for the record, or they work in like nursing homes and things of that nature. They're in like the healthcare, like adult healthcare industry for the most part. Like, it just sucks. And it's just one incredible way that America can keep importing cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
cheap
huge thing.
labor.
Like, especially, I always see it with like Filipino grandparents. It's always about like, oh, they came here so they could make money to move back to the Philippines. Like, it's always just this like, we can't make it happen there, and so you're shipped over here, and hopefully, like, before you die,
yeah,
you make enough to go back.
Yeah. She said that the lawyer advised her not to go back home and her children couldn't visit her, the nanny. Yeah, it's like, that's odd.
We were in the Philippines. All sorts of things were going through my head at this point. Will Nanny's family take good care of her? Will they resent me? How will she fit in? Will she be homesick for America?
Will they resent me? It's like, hey, this is your mom who was my mom, because my mom was like not available. Also, what is this? What is the feedback here? What, like, this is a thing that I will never understand, okay? This is a thing that they do on TikTok, which is like, I guess, funny for me to say because like I do react to a lot of videos and like everybody always says like, oh, you're fucking, sometimes I'll take a piss in the middle of that react. So like, you know, there's that brief moment of my fucking chair being there. But I don't understand when you're not like transforming anything. You're just like looking angrily during the entire TikTok. Like, it doesn't really bring anything new to the table. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why they do that. Literally what you do, Lamau. Yeah, famously, I don't react at all, 13-month subscriber, which is precisely the reason why every fucking react I have is like 8 hours long when the original content was like 30 seconds. Okay.
Will they resent me? How will she fit in? Will she be homesick for America? I was so anxious, I cannot even tell you.
This is insane. I cannot believe we're
Stay
watching.
tuned for part
Hugging her
2,
daughter
my
for the
time.
first
Now, if
time.
that wasn't bad enough, before she deleted the video, somebody had commented this and said, why did she never get to visit her home during the 30 years? That's crazy. Lexi replied back and said her immigration lawyers advised her not to and advised her kids not to visit. It was her decision to stay here as long as she did. That's wild. It is. Now imagine in the coming days, a bunch of legal eagles as well as immigration attorneys are going to come out and challenge this statement below. But tell me what you guys think of this story. How crazy is it that in 2023, people still have nannies who are separate?
Wait, what the fuck?